If you're a fan of contemporary Christian music as much as I am, then you already know Lincoln Brewster, the amazing singer, songwriter, guitarist, playing his brand new signature model Fender Stratocaster.
Yes.
Great to finally have you on the show.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
You know, and you used to be a Nashville local for a while, but now you're back in Cali,
Yes.
and leading praise music and doing a lot of great songs, just like your album that came out last year, God of the Impossible. Huge fan of that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was a fun album to make, and lots of meaningful songs for me on that one.
And I think it's so incredible too, Lincoln, that with your calling to do the Christian music, but you still keep a lot of pop sensibilities about it. Like we were talking about some of your licks. It's like every once in a while I'm like going, that sounds a little like Dream Theater. I kind of like that,
That's right.
But we got to tell viewers too that may not know this. You played with Steve Perry for a while on his solo work.
I did back when I was just a wee lad. Yeah. Yeah,
well, now we can take this back further too, Lincoln. I understand that you started playing drums when you were 1 year old,
Yes.
and then your mom started working with you on mandolin at 5.
That's right. I was destined for this, I guess.
think so.
Yeah, we kind of had music in the blood. My mom's a singer-songwriter, very encouraging to me, kind of getting me going. But I got to tell you, I fell in love with guitar from the second I picked it up.
Right.
Actually, it started. I had an electric mandolin.
Yeah.
It was like had a pickup in it.
Oh, totally.
And a friend of ours brought a guitar amp over to the house, and it was like the scene out of Back to the Future, And
you were Michael J. Fox.
No, really, we lived on the Homer Spit, look it up. It's a beautiful place. But we lived up there. I had it in the living room, and I just turned it all the way up and plugged my mandolin. And I could play one chord on the mandolin that kind of felt like a guitar.
That is
and
so awesome.
I still remember it, like this visceral experience when I think about it. That I hit that chord and went, I have to do this. Got to get a guitar.
Well, and I found it so interesting too, because I didn't know this, Lincoln. Obviously, I've known your music since you've been putting out your albums and everything, and doing so much great music with contemporary Christian. But you were playing for the tourists that were coming off like the cruise ships there in Homer.
I was, yeah. That's what you do. So I had a little price list of songs, and so I could play mandolin behind my head back then.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
You're doing like a Jimi Hendrix mandolin version.
That's right.
Speaking of which, I got to bring this up. I love your version of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Thank you.
What an incredible tribute with you, playing that and giving it your own flair as well.
Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of something I stumbled across. I got to play it. I'm a big motocross fan. A lot of people don't know that, but motocross, supercross. And I got invited to do it at the Monster Energy Cup at Sam Boyd Stadium there in Vegas.
Totally.
Yeah. So it was this crazy moment where I'm standing, I'm looking at this insane supercross track, this giant PA system. I've got my guitar. All my worlds sort of converged.
It was just like the mandolin moment.
It was except different. It was live on television. And man, they had jets flying over, and when I got to the rocket's red glare, there was big explosions going on. It was the coolest thing.
I think it's so amazing.
Yeah.
And just like the same thing we were talking earlier, with your Christian music and everything too, I think what is great for me and so many people is that you're bringing a message, but also you're bringing that rock and pop sensibility that makes it more accessible to a lot of younger people, a lot of people in general.
Yeah. I guess the kind of way I've described it is the message in the music that I bring is the same. If you kind of take up, but it's really just like gift wrapping is really the style, and different people like different types of gift wrap. And this is what I do, and one of the voices that I have certainly is the guitar. Growing up the way that I did in Alaska in a real dysfunctional home, a lot of domestic violence, alcoholism, drug abuse, and not feeling like I had a lot of hope as a kid.
Right.
The guitar has been a really great friend to me over the years, and was kind of the thing that I went to rather than kind of bad habits.
Right.
And so,
Thankfully.
and it pulled me through over the years. So to be able to do this, to have a signature model, really means a lot to me. Is a real honor.
Well, now I got to ask you about this, Lincoln. Because it's you let me play it before we started doing the interview. I love the neck on this. The body feels great. The finish is amazing. But how did this whole signature model come about? Because this is very similar to the Stratocaster that you've been known for in a lot of your career.
Yeah, so it really started back with a guitar I bought used. I had never seen a gold Strat before, and I found it in a music store. I saw it sitting in the back room, and I said, hey, whose guitar is that? And this guy said, I'm actually trying to sell it. And so I bought it. I recorded a bunch with it. It got stolen.
Oh,
and
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so I'd met the guys at Fender around that time, and they said, well, let us build you one.
Wow.
So they built me a custom shop version. We kept tweaking it. That turned into a master built version.
Right.
And then from the master built, we had talked about doing a production signature model.
Yeah.
But the only thing I just was like, if we're going to do it, let's do it right.
Totally.
Let's do a no corners cut, world-class instrument. And so that's what you see is, I think this is, I mean, obviously I'm going to say this, but I really believe this. I think it's the best production Stratocaster Fender's ever made.
Well, you know, I love it, you know, and we were talking about the unique features about it, you know, and obviously, you know, you're going in the studio, you've got an instrumental album, Christmas album coming out, maybe another album in spring of next year.
Yeah.
And so obviously you're going to be using this a lot, but, you know, the satin on the neck,
yeah.
you know, the way it's you know, lightly, you know, sanded and everything. But then the electronics features are kind of what amazed me because, you know, whenever you want to boost that up for a solo or something, it's always like, okay, trying to find the pedal.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I'm always going, I wish the Strat just had a little more output sometimes,
right.
kind of humbucker level.
About the time the drummer's hitting the cymbals.
That's right.
And you're going, I really wish.
It's always about the drummer, deep down.
Yeah.
We have
Stop
drummer
the cymbals.
issues. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it was really trying to cover every single feature. I mean, I wanted to keep that vintage look, so it's got these vintage looking tuners, but they lock.
Right.
It's got the vintage looking, you know, bent steel saddle stamped bridge, but it's 2-post floating, so you can.
Stays better in tune when you use it.
It stays in tune great. Gosh, I could go through the features for days.
Well, you know, and I think the electronics too, like we were talking earlier on the news, to where, you know, having the boost built in and also being able to do the mid roll off. How amazing is that while you're playing, particularly if you're away from your pedal board on a major stage, you know, maybe at a motocross event, and you can't get over there, and you're like going, hey, I need to tweak this a little bit.
Yeah, and I just wanted it to sound great. And the guy who actually worked on this circuit, Stan Cody, was a guy, long time friend, probably 25 years, is just a genius tone guy. So we really wanted to, again, not cut any corners, not just put a boost on, but do something really unique that sounds super musical. Even the mid boost, like you can't make the guitar sound bad. There's no funky setting where you'd go, you know.
Well, and the Strat, you know, and particularly in your career, and I think for so many musicians, just like the Telecaster, is such a great utility instrument, and it will take abuse and come back for more.
Yes.
And you can do, you know, whether you're, you know, obviously soloing with it or playing rhythm or whatever, you can do it all.
Yeah, it's super versatile, even for turning it down. For me, because I'll share a bit sometimes between songs. You can be able to get clean up the signal.
Yeah.
But with
just
without doing anything, just your hands, you know, just being able to sort of really
be able to work that.
Yeah. So I didn't have to do a bunch of pedal dancing to get there.
Well, now, you know, we were talking a little bit about your instrumental album. When do you think this might release? Maybe this fall or something?
I'm going to try. So I've got 3 albums, as you said. I got another studio album coming out. I'm working on the Christmas one right now, which is kind of bizarre.
And we were joking that your wife is going to decorate things. You've been watching the Hallmark Channel, and you're going to have like the Christmas ornaments, maybe a little tree.
Yeah, and it's like California summer, right in the middle of it. Like,
which is always funny because then you have to put the lights on the palm trees, and it's like, and the snowmen melt.
It works, you know.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
As long as it gets you in the mode.
Yeah.
If you're wearing a Santa Claus hat, I think you're all good.
So there's, well, I don't know if I'm going to do the Santa hat, but I'll put it on the dog.
There you go. Or antlers, just like the Grinch.
So it's actually been a fun record to make. A lot of acoustic stuff and kind of real. It's a bit mellower album, but super cool stuff.
Yeah.
So great drummer named Zorro who's playing on it.
Right, I know Zorro.
Do you?
Yeah.
So Zorro's he lives up in Sac now.
What an amazing talent.
Yeah, he's a freak. Lives up the street from me now.
Yeah, he's like a world traveler on drums. It's
it's
like that game Where's Zorro playing now.
He's freakish. We did a week of drum tracking, and the guy is just
he wrote a book on it.
World class. Yeah. So we can cut drums at my house now, my new place. So
wow, with the Christmas decorations.
That's like pinch me, right? So I'm playing the Christmas decorations for percussion. It's good stuff.
That is so
that'll
awesome.
be coming out. The instrumental, hopefully, it's almost finished. I just got to get a window where I can get in.
I can't wait to hear that because, you know, as we mentioned earlier, you know, having butchered a number of your songs over the years in different churches I've attended, you know, it's going to be nice to hear some of the other stuff that I can butcher going forward.
More stuff that you can butcher.
Yeah, you're trying to figure out how did he do that?
Right.
Now, I want to make sure our viewers know, website-wise and social media, where should they go to find all the new music and everything?
Yeah, LincolnBrewster.com is the website. At Lincoln Brewster Official is the Instagram. That's probably the best spot, and same with Facebook. Yeah, on that one.
Right.
So.
Well, and also if you're around Summer NAMM in Nashville this week, be sure and stop by the Fender booth. Check out the brand new Lincoln Brewster signature model, and you can find it on their website and everything too. And I'm sure you might see Lincoln out playing it live too, just out and about.
That is very possible.
This year. Putting it through its paces.
Yes,
well,
definitely.
I can't wait to hear the new music, too.
Thank you so much.
And once again, check out this brand new Stratocaster. If you're looking for something with a little more drive under the hood, I think this could be it. Thanks for watching The Rock Interview.